What is up, guys? It's Inc. here today with another RailRoads online video. And today we're going to be messing around with the crossover in a big fashion. But I want to point this out real fast and the crossover. So we've got Henry here with his, words escape me now, with his paint, with his lettering, whatever you want to call it. And he's got this long train that goes all the way down there. And as you can see, yes, the crossover is pretty much, for the most part, gone over here. I went ahead, took all the old siding out, all the old track. I took out all the old groundwork and laid in new groundwork and got rid of some of the trees. Now we're gonna obviously have more groundwork, way more groundwork that we're probably gonna have to add, but I wanted to get a head start on it and not to bore you. But this train is our 13 and 12 trains of cordwood cars, and then we've got our 17 tier 1s there, all fully loaded. Betsy did not do any of the pushing on this. She was just brought in after the fact to make sure that the cars don't move, because it is 42 cars, and even with pulling it, it likes to uncouple in spots because that's a lot of weight. So I put Betsy down there just to make sure that they can't go backwards, and Henry's on the other side with brakes on basically on the hill, so they can't go that way either. So that's kind of stuck in between the two locomotives. But if we come back here, you can see all of this is gone. Like, I took a lot of this out. We're going to go back and we're going to go redo it. And it's all going to be starting from basically over here where this switch is. And there's going to be a way I want to do this, and we're going to see if it's going to work the way I want it to. But we're going to also have to get a fire depot with a fire depot supply line in there as well. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? We're going to start off with putting our switches down. We want them to be like a ladder. So the easiest way to do this, an idea, not the easiest way, an idea that I came up with is putting switches back to back like this, because it's all technically laddered off that switch over there. So we're going to come in off that switch, we're going to come down, and then we're going to start hitting our switches, and they're all going to start switching out. And that's where all the cars will be stored, all of the extra track, all of that good stuff. So now we'll go ahead and make sure we're using, we want to use, not that one, our right hand side on the right side. And that way all of our switches, for the most part, can stay on this one side when we're coming through, and we can just see if they're switched. Now, we want these switches to be pretty long, and we want to have a decent amount of them. So here we're going to go ahead and put a straight piece of track down, and then I'm going to alt this, and I'm going to run it about a 5% curve, because right there we're going to put another switch off to the right, same as before. Yep, the same as before. And then we will start getting these sidings set first, so that way we don't accidentally collide with another one. So we'll start bringing them out and how we want them to be for our tracks. So we'll come back over here and we'll go ahead and take our little tail, and we'll just start alting it and running it straight. And in theory, all of these should in fact go the same way, and we should have plenty of storage space. This will leave perfect amount of space between all of the tracks, so we can store the cars, the locomotives, all of that good jazz without having to worry about us running into each other, or them running into each other. Okay, we'll leave that there. And then we will run once more another one. Okay. Now with that being staggered like it is, we'll actually probably just take that out. We'll take that out for right now until we figure out how we want this all to come together. Okay, so now we need to start turning it. And we want to create a nice, smooth turn. Granted, we're not going to be, mainline speeds on this track, but we are going to be storing a lot of cars. We need them to still store a proper amount of cars in each one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take this track and we're gonna go in a small increment like that, because we've got to put switches down and we've got to build it from that side. Gotta kind of plan out where we want to take this end, and then we're gonna have to delete the middle and put our switches down, starting from the furthest one. Alright, so we're gonna run this corner at probably, we're gonna try a 35-degree corner. Straighten that out. It's a nice 10% corner. Love how I give myself all that room to lay track. And I end up not using any of it. Or hardly any of it. Okay, so that'll set us up there. Come over to this side to connect it in. Just like so. See, what I don't like is when you come off of a sharp corner like that, it does not handle the adjustment very well sometimes. Come off, just a little, we'll have to erase that. This is usually why I end up freehanding this stuff. Okay, so that looks pretty smooth into the corner. Yep, and then we go through our sharp corner here. And then bam, enter all of our switches and stuff like that. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a coffee break real quick. Okay, so for at the moment, we have our switch down there. It's all connected into this, and it's still technically considered the crossover because of the second main line right here. So if you wanted to, you could come off straight into here from there if you wanted to, or however you wanted to do it, but it'll take you all the way back through all of these and head over to that one switch, which is a pretty cool thing. Now we've got to decide here where we want to put another set of switches, and we're gonna go with right off of this one. We're gonna go ahead and put a couple switches here. We'll go ahead and use the switch. We'll use this right like that, which then will connect this dude into that switch, or into that line there. Like so. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and put another switch to the right. We're gonna have to do some groundwork right here real quick. So now we can put our couple more switches on this side, so then that increases our amount of switches that we can have. Now these ones will be a little bit different because we probably won't have a straight pull-through switch on them. We may not. It all depends on how we do this over here. If I put you like that, what happens? Okay. Not ideal, but it'll work. That should give the locomotives and everything plenty of room to get in there. Alrighty, so we are coming back from finishing the crossover there, and we're going to take Henry and these 42 cars up and around the logging camp, and we're going to take him back down to the crossover on the other side. So we're doing basically a hot swap of the tracks that we're on. We're going to take it around the loop. It'll be a little bit of a pain because this hill that we're about to go up is kind of a killer hill for Henry and Link. They both kind of struggle with this hill a little bit, especially with like 20 car trains, so I assume that this is going to be no different, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for Henry. I just know it's going to be. But we're going to be moving it back over to the crossover. We're going to see if our 25 cars of the tier 3s there will go ahead and fit into the crossover, that first switch, so that way we can put in the next episode the 17 tier 1s in a different line, and then we can go and grab the tier 2s and start buying more tier 2s, and then we actually have a spot to put them and an efficient system of getting them in and out of the crossover yard. Which is nice about having that secondary line there is now we can just go straight into the yard itself and drop off the cars, which is technically kind of how the crossover was supposed to be. But it's kind of nice having that secondary main line come in, because then you kind of expect the line to be there, and then you're coming in as, you know, a train could be coming in from the smelter or the freight depot or wherever it's coming from. It could be coming on the main line as you're coming down through the secondary main line, and it doesn't prevent each other, and it can go in the crossover as the other ones going by or whatever. But as you can see, Henry kind of struggled with that hill just a little bit, but at the same time I'm trying to keep it nice and smooth for the couplers, because the couplers aren't meant to have all of that weight on them. They're not designed for that, and even then the game does also not like to handle all of those cars moving at once as well. So if it does get stuttery, I'm sorry guys, it's just kind of how it is with how the game is running and optimized and stuff. But if you did make it to this point, guys, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more Railroads Online content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will be doing a snow runner this week, and I am going to be starting to get on a schedule with the videos probably like twice a week for Railroads, and then I'll do SnowRunner on Friday with Railroads as well. So that gives me, like, my posting days will be Monday, and then Friday will be the days that they come out instead of it being all over. So that way it gives me time in the week to kind of get all the footage together and edit it for you guys. Well, with that being said, if you guys want to see more, hit that subscribe button. If you have any more tips, tricks, or anything else, leave them down in the comments. Let me know. I do definitely read all the comments. They're very much appreciated. They're very helpful. And then on top of that, you guys have a great day, and don't forget to drink your coffee.
like a family tree. Part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait.
Bring the funk back.